called consultative question asking skills. Now, we've already mentioned the key skill of an internal service professional. That skill is? Listening. The ability to listen well. So that is a proactive skill for customer service professionals. How do you listen well? You need to do something in order to listen well.
Ask questions.
Okay, you need to ask questions. Yeah. Repeating gives you the active listening behind it, but you need to ask questions, and lots of questions in the process of finding out what's going on. What we're going to do is we're going to look at a particular skill which really comes up in the third stage of our IT demand management process. And that skill is defined to create an idea with your internal customer. So it's designed to do a little bit of a diagnosis job on understanding what is a particular pain and problem, and then finding out how to find solutions to it. Yeah. So, but what we're going to do in order to build up this example and find out how this example works, what I want you to do is to play the role of salespeople, and I will play the role of a customer. Now you work for a company called Sikorsky, not Swarovski. Yeah, Swarovski make beautiful jewelry and cut glass and stuff for ladies of distinction. Yeah, Sikorsky makes helicopters, big industrial-sized helicopters for the purpose of lifting heavy objects. Okay? I am your customer. My name is Hanibal. Do you know Hanibal?
The cannibal?
Not Hannibal the cannibal, not Hannibal Lecter. Hannibal Lecter is the guy who he ate people. Yeah? We're not talking about him. He's not important to us. We're speaking about the other Hannibal. Do you know the other Hannibal? The other Hannibal was kind of a dictator type chap. And he was famous in Europe. He lived in North Spain. He was actually from Carthage, which today I think is Tunisia and Tunis in North Africa. But he was originally from Carthage, and he kind of took over Spain and then lived around Barcelona, and one day got angry with the Italians and took an army over the Alps and visited destruction on the Italians. And what's famous about him? Does anybody know anything famous about Hannibal? Well, and a particular animal that was important. Elephants. Yeah? So Hannibal went over the Alps with a bunch of elephants. Why? We have got no idea. Yeah? Why he actually decided to use elephants on his trip to Italy. Anyway, I am Hannibal. You are salespeople, and you sell helicopters. You're going to try and sell me a helicopter. Okay? So that's the situation, right? You have two teams. Please develop 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 questions, and you can ask those questions to Hannibal. I have to say, if you are successful, then you can sell your helicopters to me. If you are unsuccessful, I will squash you with my elephants. Actually, you will have the choice of a number of different interesting ways to die. One of them is being squashed by an elephant. Another one is just being normal, killed by my gladiator soldiers. Another one, ladies, I won't kill you. You can go directly to the harem. I have a great harem prepared. And guys, it's up to you. You have the choice of death or harem. That's completely your choice, okay? So,
Thank you.
So no pressure, yeah? I would like you to ask me some questions, and you're not allowed to say the word helicopter. Over here, we have the land of paella. And over here, we have the land of spaghetti. Great. And let's begin. So here are the question types that I'm looking for. You are able to change the questions as you go through the exercise. Welcome, my name is Hannibal. Nice to meet you. Lovely weather we're having today. And yes, you can ask your questions first. Don't be shy.
Well, Hanibal, can you talk us a little about you, about your life, about your expectations?
So can I tell you a little bit about me and my life and expectations? Yes, well, my name is Hannibal and I'm a dictator and my job is killing people. And my job is also running a country. It's a very difficult country to run because they're all Spanish, which means, you know, things take a lot of time. Mañana. It takes, you know, forever to get anything done. And I'm really work driven. I have objectives and targets that I want to achieve. And and currently I'm living up here, Barcelona area. It's really nice, lovely climate and stuff. And I've got a bit of a problem with the Italians. And so we're just kind of creating a little bit of a campaign to go over to Italy and have some fun. So.
Okay.
Okay. How do you want to use our product while we are going to Italy? What are your objectives?
What kind of qualifications or functionalities would you like to have?
Okay, I don't really need any kind of product at all. I don't really need a product.
What do you want to do?
What do I want to do?
Yeah.
Well, do you mean in Italy?
Yeah.
Oh, kill Italians. As many as possible.
How much time you think you're going to take for that?
That's an interesting question because it's actually quite problematic to think of the timing question. In summer, getting over the Alps, from end to end is a 3-week job, right? Up and across and over, and then I arrive at Lago de Como in about 3 weeks.
And you already done that trip with all your equipment, all your
No. Our army's still here. They're all.
Somebody already crossed the Alps
Sure.
with the elephants?
No. We've not done that with the elephants. That's a bit of a problem we have as well.
Maybe we can talk about, even in summer, a couple of weeks extra for the elephant, right?
Yeah, but the problem is we can't do it in summer.
Oh.
Yeah, we are talking just about the best scenario.
Okay, well, in summer it'd take about 3 weeks.
Have you considered the food to transport, to move the elephants in your campaign?
Have I considered the food that we will need to... Yes. So what we've done is we've created supply depots at strategic places along the Alps. Yeah, and so we've started storing food. In these specific places through the Alps, and so when the army gets there, then there'll be enough food for everybody. But of course, that's without the Swiss. No, the Swiss. Do you like the Swiss? I hate the Swiss. Hate those guys.
What would you do with
Hate the Swiss.
What would you do with the...
Hang on.
Okay, and how many elephants do you have?
How many elephants? I have about 75 fully grown elephants, and I've got 12 babies. They're so cute. Have you ever seen an elephant baby? They're really cute. They can still squidge a head like a coconut, but they're really kind of cute and small and lovely, and their ears and their trunks are lovely.
Would you be interested in a solution that you could get fast into the target and you wouldn't have to have any supplies during the travel time?
No.
What do you think about killing off the tunnel in a couple of days and literally be over their heads with your elephant?
I think you're dreaming. I think you've been eating some of that bread that is very common in this area with the fungus on the top. Dreaming. Yeah.
But you like the idea, right?
You would know it's because it's a dream and not possible.
Sorry,
Kill off them?
have you considered the effort to the complete campaign, and how are you planning to return?
How are we planning to get back?
Yes, get back.
Well, we run. We run very fast. We'll need to run very fast back. It's a good question, actually.
Don't
Yeah.
you want to make this whole thing when they are really not expecting? Because in
Yes.
3 weeks' time, they can get some rumors about your project.
No, that is so important, yeah? The element of surprise. The elephant of surprise. It's a joke. Hannibal makes jokes.
Yeah.
Do you get it? The elephant of surprise? Element of surprise? It's not funny, okay. The element of surprise is so important. We have to get to Lago de Como without anybody knowing, so that we can run across the plains to these towns and then put our ladders up and then sweep over the walls without anybody knowing. It's critical. Yeah.
So don't you think that it should be a little bit shorter, the whole timing?
There's no way it's going to be shorter. In summer it's 3 weeks. We have to go in winter.
Wouldn't you like us to help to get there in a little bit shorter time?
No, because you haven't asked me any of these questions and any of these questions.
Hannibal, Hannibal,
Yes, yes.
I have seen you have a visionary person.
Oh,
You are
Hey.
have vision.
thank you.
What is the next step?
Then-
When you finished your current plan, your current campaign,
Yeah.
what is the next step?
then we come home.
Go home.
Yeah, yeah. Because you see, the Italians, they're getting very, they're getting very big for their boots. Yeah, they've started sending messages that they want to attack us over here in Spain and kill us. And that's bad. We have to put a stop to this negative publicity that's going on. And so we need to do it relatively quickly. And if we don't do it, that's a big, big, big problem for us.
You have already an idea how much that will cost you?
How much it'll cost? Well, the good thing about being a dictator is that you have a very good return on investment analysis. You say to people, you do what I want or I'll kill you. Yeah? Which leads me actually to the end of this conversation. Thanks very much. It was lovely to speak to you. Ladies, the harem is over there. Gentlemen, you can choose. Harem or death by ketchup. Death by squidgy elephant. You can choose a little elephant or a big elephant or a gladiator with a sword. It's up to you. We'll all be watching. We're really very, very flexible. Thank you. Great. So, group number 2. You have the possibility to save your friends, by the way.
They're Italians. We don't care.
Poor Italians. They've just lost the football. This story is nothing against Italians, by the way. Best food in the world and the best football players in the world, but they just beat the English, so we're pretty glad that they're out as well. So, hello.
Hello, Hannibal. How
Hi.
are you?
Very well, thanks. You know, it's been a difficult day. I had to kill like 15 people this morning and cut, but the harem did some good business and, so we're good, yeah, it could be better. Mm-hmm.
Hannibal, can you tell us about your project of moving your army from Spain to Italy?
Yes, we have to move our army from Spain to Italy because the Italians are sending messages that actually it's not the Italians. Yeah, I heard they're not really Italian. I don't know. Somebody said they were actually Austrians. They're from North Italy around Lago de Como. Have you been to Lago de Como?
Yes.
It's an amazingly beautiful place, yeah? Some people say that this place is absolutely paradise on earth. Personally, I don't agree. I think Bled, there's a little lake called Bled in Slovenia, northern Slovenia. This is paradise on earth. But Lago de Como is pretty close. And there are 3 towns around there, Treviso and a couple of other towns, and they've been causing us problems. They've been sending scouts over the Alps, killing our people on the other side, and they are basically saying that they are bigger and better than everybody else. And that's so we've got to go and kill these guys. We're going to kill them dead, completely dead, and we're going to send a big message to the Roman Empire that nobody can mess with me, with Hannibal and the Hannibalan Empire, because I've got elephants and other things too.
Hannibal, I agree completely with you. Okay?
That's a good idea.
We cannot accept for them sending messages and killing our people.
That's right.
You talk about these elephants. What
Yeah.
do you plan to do with the elephants?
Well, elephants, yeah, good question. You see, we need the elephants because we've got these ladder things, yeah? We've got this production, we've got this R&D department, and they say they're IT guys, but they're not. And they have created these ladders, these big ladder things, yeah? And it's on a truck, and it's so cool. You pull this truck really, really fast, and you push the truck against the wall of a town, and this huge ladder just goes boing, and which means something that would normally cost you 3 weeks to build, or longer, yeah, you can put against the wall of a town in 3 minutes. And then all of the army can go over the town and drop and then kill and, do what we do best. Yeah? So that's why the elephants are there. The elephants pull these ladders. Yeah? So we make them here. We're going to pull those things over the Alps. You can pull it with an elephant. That's why we need the elephants. Elephants are good for pulling. Have you seen an elephant before?
Yes.
You have? Okay. They're pretty amazing things, right?
Very strong.
Very strong.
Yeah.
Very brainy. Big. Very intelligent. Big ears. Those little ones, they're cute.
Okay.
Can you tell us how long time you use at the moment to cross the Alps with the elephants, and do you have some kind of time frame for the maximum amount of hours of time you want to use it in?
So first question, how long does it take? Well, as I said, in the summer it takes 3 weeks, but we have to go in the winter. Or we don't have to go in the winter, but we have to go in the late spring. And so we're not actually sure how long it's going to take us in that time. Yeah, but the timing is really very, very critical for us. Second question was, what's the time frame? Well, that's the answer as well.
Time frame of how long time it should take?
We need to be here. Yeah, ideal time for us to be here is 1st of May. So the 1st of May, if we're here on the 1st of May, that's the ideal time point. Yeah, but that means crossing the Alps in the when the snow started melting in the springtime, and so that's a bit of a challenge, a bit of a problem for us, and but that's when we need to be here. From here to here, then it's like 3 days, 3 days forced march, and final running around. So our scouts are here, 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 here. This is pretty, nobody lives around here. It's all very mountainous. So we've got our scouts there at the moment, and they kill everything that they find, and they keep the whole area clean and make sure there's no Italians who can go back and give messages and mess up this surprise element that we have. And so, yeah, you're pretty overwhelmed, Maria. I can see that, yeah.
Well, that's a very good plan, but I was thinking, you actually have less time. Okay, we're actually killing all the Italians next to the road.
Yeah.
They're going to find out that we're killing people. They're not coming back with the messages. We need to do this as soon as possible. We actually need to move these elephants and the whole army to the river as soon as possible. And I think we can actually help you with this.
Okay, yeah, I mean, okay, how?
We have a special transportation method where we can take you in not 3 weeks, but in just 2 days we can move the whole army to this space. And we can put all the elephants, we can transport very large objects or animals could be included, and we can put them in 2 to 3 days, the whole army. We can move this there.
Okay.
We could help you kill these Italians as soon as possible.
Okay. Great. How?
No, we have the transportation means.
Okay.
We would put the transportation, you pay us for the service. We can have it half and half, pay you half before and half afterwards.
Yeah.
And we put the whole army there.
Great.
In 3 days.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Get the service from me.
Sounds very interesting, but I think I'm going to have to, send you to your colleagues and have a chat with them. Okay. So, but thank you very much for the offer. I don't think I'll take you up on it at this moment. Yeah. Where are you from, by the way?
I'm from Spain.
You're lucky. You've been eating that bread as well, huh? Yeah. Okay, I can kind of see that. Off to
I
the
hate pasta.
okay. Off to the harem with you. Maybe we'll give you some. Good. So thank you very much.
Okay.
So now, what were we doing here? Obviously, there are some questions that were missing from the equation. Yeah. Now, in the they've done a lot of research on what question. It's clear that good customer service professionals ask good questions. Yeah. What this is a structure and a method for the questions. So it suggests that there is a logic behind the questions and what some of these questions are. It suggested that very good customer service professionals ask some of these questions, and the best ask some of these questions. Yeah. So let's have a look at what these questions could be. What were some of these, or rather, what are these things here? What do they look like?
Looks like a chicken.
Looks like a chicken. It's not a chicken.
It's like a hook.
It looks like a hook. There we go. God, thank God for that. You're saved. It's a hook. And what do you do with a hook?
Big stuff.
Huh?
Catch things.
You catch, well, not just things, normally fish, right?
Yeah.
So you catch fish with a hook. And how do you catch a fish with a hook? When the fish bites the hook, what do?
You pull.
You pull. You wind it in. Yeah? And so the hook within this conversation structure represents messages that your internal customer says, where you say, why did they say that? And I was dropping so many hooks. You remember the Swiss? I hate the Swiss. Why did he say that? Remember the summer? 3 weeks for the summer, but we can't go in the summer. Why did he say that? What were some of the other hooks?
The baby elephants.
The baby elephants. Why did he say that? Yeah, we haven't tested the elephants in the Alps. Why did he say that? Yeah, yeah, it's a very serious. The elephant of surprise. The surprise. Why is that so important? Yeah. So the principle of a hook is where you're speaking to somebody and you say to yourself, why did they say that? Do I know? Am I assuming? Yeah? Or do I know? And if I know, then has the customer said this to me? Or have they not? And if they haven't, then how do I bring this in? So the context of a consultative question asking process is, yes, for sure, you will prepare, but you will prepare to change the plan based on the messages that you receive from your internal sponsor or from the person that you're speaking to. So that when you hear one of these hooks, firstly you identify that it is a hook, and then you say to yourself, let me wind this in. Where will this go? Yeah? So let's have a look at what this does. Let's start again with one of these questions. What were these questions? Give me an example of one of these questions. What was one of the first questions that you asked?
Yeah, something like what are you going to transport, or how do they do it at the moment when you transport these kind of things?
Okay, so how are you going to transport all of your stuff from Italy to Rome? Yeah, and this is what we call an E question, And the E question stands for the environment. Yeah? So it gives you information about what's going on, yeah, what the status quo is, how you do things at the moment. Yeah? So environment questions give you factual information. What's happening at the moment? What is your plan? Yeah, what were some of the environment questions? What is your plan? Where are you going? What are you going to do when you get there? How many elephants do you have? Why are you going there? What's the strategy? What's the direction? Who are you? Yeah, all of these questions. How many soldiers do you have? How many elephants do you have? What are you going to do about the food? Where have you thought about the food being there? Yeah? And then do you remember when you said, what about the food? I said, yes, the food. Very, very, very big issue with the food. Yeah? That's a hook, right? Is that a hook? It's a hook. So what question do you ask now?
What is your challenge with the food?
Okay. So what's your challenge with the...
What's your problem with the food?
Where's the problem with the food? So if that's our epic question, then this is the P question. This is the problem. This is the challenge. This is the issue. This is the hot topic. Yeah? Whatever you want to call it. This is the pain or the problem question. Yeah? So let's just practice this a couple of times. What was another... okay, this is what we do. You think of an environment question for Hanibal, and then I'll answer the question, and then you ask a pain question on the back of it. 3, 2, 1, go.
What is in which way are you going to transport your elephants?
How are we going to transport the elephants? No, we're not going to transport any elephants. You can't pick up an elephant. The elephants are going to walk. Yeah? But I'll be very honest, we have not tested those elephants in the Alps.
Yes. So you don't see an issue about not testing it, the elephants in the Alps?
Yes, I do.
In which way do you think we can come by this issue?
That's here. That's a capability question. That question is saying, how can we solve the problem? You haven't asked this question yet. Let's go back and do this. The question was, how are you going to transport the elephants? I say, we're not going to transport the elephants. We're going to walk them, but we haven't tested them in the Alps. What's the next question?
Would you like to test?
What problems do you
What
expect?
problems
Why
do
you are
Okay.
taking the elephant if you don't?
No, that's an environment question again. Why are you taking the elephants? The pain question is, what's the problem with testing the elephants? The problem with testing the elephants is we have never had an elephant up to its knees in snow. Yeah? You know, the problem could be that the elephants don't move forward. The problem could be that the elephants die in the Alps. That would be terrible. Okay? So, another environment question. What's another environment question?
How do you gonna move the whole food from Spain to Italy? Because you will need food while you are going there.
So we're going to make these different staging posts through the Alps, yeah? And if everything's okay, then when we get to the staging posts with our armies, then we'll be able to eat and then move on. But of course, that's, you know, as long as the Swiss do not cause a problem.
Have you had any problems with Swiss?
Have we had any problems with the Swiss? Who has not had problems with the Swiss? Those guys are terrorists. Those guys are so bad. They come, the Swiss, they steal the food, they burn the depots, they take all of the food, and they've got these bows and arrows. There's a guy called William Tell, or well, somebody who will be William Tell in about 5. They're amazing. They're a really good bow and arrow, and they kill all of our people, and they know they're really bad, the Swiss.
How do you plan to handle that?
That's a capability question. What's the solution to the problem? And it's coming, but it's still premature. Yeah? What's another environment question? Let's go back. Another environment question.
What is your current solution? No, current
Where
solution
you're
is
taking
every-
elephants to the Alps.
Why are we taking elephants through the Alps? Oh, we need the elephants. The elephants pull these ladders. And these ladders are critical for our success. That's a hook.
What will you do with those ladders? Why are they so important?
They're so important because these ladders are going to go up against the walls of the town. Normally, in a normal war, we would build these ladders just outside the town. But we don't have time for that. Because if the Italians know that we're coming, then we will lose the element of surprise. Okay? That's another environment. Now what's the problem question?
But maybe that you need this atomic bomb. How could you do this?
That's a capability question, and it's premature. Yeah? What's the problem question?
Why do you need to get over the barrier?
Why do we need to get over? Well, we need to get over these walls to.
What's
To-
the problem to claim the walls?
The problem, these walls are so high that if we're stuck outside the town, we do not have a chance of success. The problem is, if you don't get over the wall, you fail to achieve your goal of taking the town.
So without ladder, it means nothing.
Without ladder, it means we're stuck at the bottom, looking up, throwing sticks. Yeah? That's a big problem. Okay? So this is critical. The connection, the reason you ask normal questions is so that you can identify the pain and the problem. You've got a medical guy, he's got a pain and a problem. You've got a finance guy, he's got a pain and a problem. What is it? What pain and problem are you there to try and solve? Yeah. No pain, no change. Yeah?
The thing is, each time we, just to be clear,
Mhm.
each time that we asking, for example, I ask you, why you need, why you cannot claim the walls? You are answering me with one problem.
Y-
The
yeah.
problem is that you can't claim because are too high.
Yeah. But that's not the problem, that's just a fact. I can't climb the wall because it's too high. That's not the problem. Simple statement of fact. The problem behind it is that I'm standing at the bottom of the wall and my opponents are standing at the top, which means I can't get to them. That's a problem. Yeah?
And how do you ask the question for that?
So what's the problem? Nice and easy. So what's the problem?
What's the problem to claim the wall? Or
No, simply, so what's the problem we're speaking about? What is the problem that you're trying to solve? What is the problem that you see here? Yeah? Let's do it one more time. Who's got an environment question?
How many soldiers do you plan to take?
Well, we're going to take 200,000 heavily armed soldiers on horses, 200,000 walking soldiers, and then 500,000 slaves, animals, and miscellaneous things. Yeah? But I tell you what, we need a lot of food to deal with that. Yeah? And we also need to get everybody to the other side at the same time, because otherwise it's a bit of a problem for us.
What's the problem with not having so many people on the other side?
Perfect. Yeah? You hear the hook, you say, so what's the problem? I don't understand. Well, the problem is we need to all move away from this point in one body, in one army, which means the first half of the army will get there at the end of April. The second half of the army won't get there until the end of, until 4 weeks later, which means you've got heavily armed soldiers with nothing to kill for 4 weeks. They'll become depressed. That's a real problem. Depressed soldiers, big problem.
What do you expect to have when you have them all together in front of the castle with ladders at the same time?
Because then, within 3 days, we can move the whole army from here to here, sweep over the walls, and achieve our goals. Yeah. So, environment question leads to problem question. Now comes the magic. Yeah. This is already difficult enough, right? Yeah, as we can see. Yeah, this is a very normal example. But this problem question is critical and it's already challenging enough. The real challenge comes here. We're going here, now we're coming here, and then we want to go here. And the idea is these questions here give you, these are questions like, how do you want to solve the problem? Would it help if you had something cool and big to lift elephants up and carry them from A to B? Would it help if you could increase the speed of getting from A to B? Yeah? All of these things are what we call capability questions. What capabilities would you need to solve this problem in a more effective style? Can I offer you some ideas? Yeah? These are all solution questions. Here we have a question which is a very interesting question, and it is called the impact question. Yeah? And the question says, why is the problem a problem? I love this question. I get paid for saying this question. Why is the problem a problem? Yeah? And the impact question is now, let's see what it does. So let's go back again. What was one of the environment questions?
How do you plan to get your elephants through the Alps?
So we're going to walk them through the Alps, and it's a little bit difficult because we've never tested them in the Alps before.
What's the problem about this testing?
Well, if you haven't tested the elephants before, we're in Hannibal mode. Yeah. So the problem is that, you know, we haven't had the ability. We tested them in the Sierra Nevada. They're not mountains, not compared to the Alps. The Alps, they're real mountains. Yeah. So we don't know how the elephants are going to react to heavy snowdrifts. Maybe they'll stop. Maybe they'll die. You know, one dead elephant in the Alps, that's a big problem.
What would the impact be for you if you then not get your elephants transported through the Alps?
Well, I mean, that's a terrible scenario. If I don't have the elephants there, then I don't have the ladders there. And then I can't put the ladders against the side of the walls. We'll fail. We'll be killed. Yeah? If the elephants die in the Alps, but a more serious consequence is if one elephant is lying in the middle of an Alp. Yeah? You can imagine Alp, mountain, valley, elephant, dead, army, push. It's terrible, right? What do? Cut it up and make salami? We don't have time for that. Go over it, terrible for morale. You know, the army will get stopped and blocked and they won't be able to move forward. Oh my God, I can't even bear thinking about it. Okay? This is the impact question. This makes the problem a problem. And this is now where we think of the other Hannibal, Hannibal Lecter. Yeah? Yeah? He said, ooh, I can feel a problem. Now I'm going to dig into this problem and see if the problem is a real problem by asking an impact question to say, why is the problem a problem? What is the consequence? What is the business consequence of this problem on your environment? These questions basically tell you that there's some problem that they want to solve. These questions give you specific data on the consequences of not solving a particular problem and the way and the ideas that are on the table at the moment for moving forward with a particular problem. The principle of this conversation is that we don't want to speak about helicopters until we've understood what the need really is. And all of these questions are simply a way of really understanding what the needs are. Yeah? So understanding internal customers' needs is a process of asking questions. Which questions should we ask? Well, we're obviously going to begin with a bunch of factual related questions, but these have a purpose, and the purpose is to understand where the pressing problem is, where the key challenges are. And then, because we don't know their situation well enough and we want them to feel the pain, we're going to say, why is the problem a problem? What are the consequences of this? And they're going to describe that, and then we're going to say, so what are your ideas for changing this or for finding a solution to this? Because we want them to express their ideas before we give them our ideas. Why do we do this? If we get them to say their ideas before we give them our ideas, then the likelihood that they will accept our ideas is higher than if we simply say, I've got a helicopter. Saying the word product at this stage is too early. We need them to have the idea. It's easier to give somebody a suggestion when they've had their own ideas first. If you bring a suggestion on the back of somebody else's suggestion, they take it as a compliment. They take it as a complimentary idea. They sometimes say, oh, you had an idea which was based on my ideas. It's actually my idea. And this is the principle of bringing your ideas or bringing one of your project or proposal ideas into a discussion in a way that somebody may even think that it's their idea. But certainly they have the opportunity to explain what they want before you say, well, I've got a couple of suggestions as well. Would you like to hear them? Okay? So, in a nutshell, a series and a process of asking questions, a very definite message. Within the context of this discussion, your job is to ask questions. Your job is to understand the needs. Their job is simply to answer the questions. It's called a consultative question asking technique. The word consultative means you bring value. The intent and purpose of this model is to bring value through the conversation itself. Simply the conversation will bring value to the person who is answering the questions, because they will think about their situation and problem from a new way. So tomorrow, when you're going through real conversations with real people, don't worry about the solutions, because that's not the purpose of a consultative conversation. The purpose of the consultative conversation is to deliver value with the conversation itself. And this is a very good overview and synopsis of the value of this role within the IT organization at the moment.